Do you once in a while think of uprooting your life and starting fresh in a new state, only to wonder if it's really worth the hype? You picture a dreamy life with perfect weather, affordable housing, and great job opportunities until reality hits you like a brick. Let's face it, not all American states are created equal, and some are struggling more than ever as we head into the next year. From economic troubles to natural disasters, some places might seem like a dream but can quickly turn into a nightmare. So, which American states should you cross off your list if you're planning a big move next year? Buckle up, because we're about to dive into 5 states that might look great on paper but are full of hidden challenges. Number 5, California. First up is Golden State, the state of sunshine, movie stars, and high-tech companies. Sounds dreamy, right? But wait a minute, let's break this fantasy down. It also claimed its throne as one of the most expensive states to live in the United States. The median price per home in 2024 was astonishingly high at $800,000. And here's the kicker. According to experts, this rate will increase by 5% by 2025. Renting isn't much better. Just think about a 2-bedroom apartment in Los Angeles that will cost more than $3,000 per month. That's like burning cash for the privilege of calling traffic jams your daily routine. As for traffic, it is time to discuss those dreadful hours spent in a car. Would you believe traffic congestion costs the average Angelino more than 3 weeks of time annually? Imagine that it is more than 4 whole days that have been lost to video game playing. Just think about the moment when you will be poking along on the freeway at 5 miles per hour with your eyes closed and your head lying on the steering wheel, wishing you had a different life, maybe in Idaho. But it is not only about having money or traffic jams. Each summer, Californians endure fires that displace residents and make them leave their homes. Combine worsening air quality and water scarcity into the equation, and what you have is expensive survival. Doesn't sound so golden anymore, does it? And yet, people stay. Why? It can be the desire, the opportunity, or the prospect of leaving behind a dream. Is it still possible to speak about the state as the land of opportunities if people struggle to afford even essentials? Would you swap your serenity for palm trees and sunsets? Let us know. Is California worth the price, or is the Golden State beginning to fade? Number 4, Louisiana, a state filled with vibrant culture, tasty food, and, as everyone knows, the iconic Mardi Gras. But what can it be like to actually move there and live in this place all the time? Spoiler alert, it's not all beads and jazz. Let's talk about money first. Louisiana is one of the poorest states in the United States of America. The median household income that the population of 2024 received was only $53,000, which remains lower than the national average of $75,000. This economic disparity underscores the lack of sufficient opportunities and systemic issues that continue to plague the state. The lower median income is a direct reflection of limited access to high-paying industries and inadequate economic growth. As a result, many residents find themselves trapped in cycles of poverty with few viable pathways to upward mobility. There are very few jobs available in sectors such as technology or banking, leaving many residents struggling to make ends meet. And then there is the other natural force called Mother Nature. Louisiana is located right in the heart of the hurricane region. Do you recall the hurricane that hit New York in the summer of 2021? Hurricane Ida. Repairs are still ongoing. But with climate change now in full force, forecasters expect hurricanes to become even worse in 2025. And if that's not enough, Louisiana is sinking due to the fact that sea levels are increasing. Whole coastal populations are being rendered homeless every year. How would you deal with such a position when the foundation you are standing on is in the process of eroding? Now let's turn to public services. If you imagine perfect schools or healthcare, Louisiana can leave you rather unsatisfied. It has been consistently low in both of them. Thus, even if the gumbo is to die for, what is the true price of being a resident of the state of Louisiana? Here's the big question. How much jazz and jambalaya can compensate for constant weather threats and low opportunities? Well, you wouldn't like to exchange your safe and comfortable life for something more in tune with this bayou. Number 3, West Virginia. Right up in the Appalachian Mountains, West Virginia feels like a picture postcard has been brought to life. But here is where things get interesting. Despite the picturesque beauty, the state is a veritable minefield of problems. Let's start with the elephant in the room: coal mining. What a change it has been. For what used to be the pride of West Virginia, now it is just a memory. As it has declined, thousands of families have been left in the lurch looking for other means of livelihood. And come on, being surrounded by stunning views helps nobody pay the rent. Next, there is the population issue. Over the period of 2010 to 2024, West Virginia has had a net outmigration of over 60,000 people. Imagine the number of people. That's enough to populate a small city. In fact, most of the small cities in the region. Why? Opportunities for employment are hard to come by, and savages have even less chance of affording any form of comfortable lifestyle or the amenities of post-industrial civilization. Just consider it, for example, high-speed internet is still a luxury, especially in rural areas. How do you code in your remote job, watch your favorite series, or even attend an online class without stable internet connection? And healthcare. West Virginia faces some of the highest obesity, diabetes, and opioid addiction rates within the United States. That, compounded with scarcity of health facilities, means such communities are left to fend for themselves. Through which mechanisms do you find ways to succeed when getting well seems impossible? Please leave your opinions in the comment section below, and let us know if it is time for West Virginia to find its next big chapter. Because one thing's for sure, the state has a heart, and if there's one thing we've learned, it's that a little heart can go a long way. Number 2, Alaska. If you've ever dreamed of living in the vast, untamed wilderness of Alaska, hold on to your snow boots because this story is about to get real. Sure, Alaska offers jaw-dropping scenery of towering glaciers, majestic moose strolling through your yard, and the breathtaking aurora borealis lighting up the night sky. It's the kind of beauty that belongs to your Instagram feed. But before you start packing for your Alaskan adventure, let's talk about what makes it a not-to-move American state. For starters, Alaska has some of the highest living costs in the country. A gallon of milk will be $5, and for gas, you can expect to pay $1 more per gallon than the national average. Even basic things like bread or bananas can feel like luxury items when everything has to be flown or shipped in. And then there's the heating bill because it's extremely cold there. Speaking of cold, let's dive into Alaska's winters. We're not talking about a light dusting of snow and cozy sweater weather. We're talking minus 50 degrees Fahrenheit in some places. Cars freeze, pipes freeze, your soul might freeze, and don't even get us started on the darkness. In some parts of Alaska, winter means only a few hours of sunlight a day or none at all. It's not just a mood killer, it's a serious health issue. Seasonal affective disorder, SAD, is a real thing and it hits hard here. And while the job market can seem promising like oil, fishing, tourism, but many of these opportunities are seasonal and physically demanding. It's not exactly a 9-to-5 with coffee breaks and cubicles. And let's not forget the healthcare situation. Alaska's vast size means medical facilities are few and far between. If you need specialized care, you might have to hop on a plane to Seattle. Now imagine doing that in an emergency. So here's the question for you. Is the trade-off for breathtaking scenery worth the isolation, sky-high prices, and brutal winters? Let us know what you think in the comments. Because while Alaska isn't for everyone, there's no denying its rugged charm and unique spirit. And hey, maybe you're just wild enough to call this place home. Number 1, Mississippi, a state rich in history, soul-stirring blues music, and yes, that famous Southern hospitality. But let's be honest, for all its charm, life here isn't exactly a smooth ride. Mississippi is ranked number 1 on our list of the toughest states to live in, and trust me, the reasons are as serious as they are frustrating. Let's start with healthcare. Mississippi doesn't just rank last in the US for healthcare access and quality. It's almost as if the system has taken a permanent vacation. Imagine needing a doctor, but the closest clinic is miles away, and when you do find one, the care is, well, let's just say basic. Then there's education. Mississippi schools are often at the bottom of national rankings. It's a tough reality. How can the next generation dream big when their textbooks are older than they are? Mississippi's GDP per capita is one of the lowest in the nation. Unemployment is above average, and wages, well, they're just stuck in neutral. For many, the American dream feels more like a pipe dream. And let's not forget infrastructure. Remember the Jackson water crisis in 2022? Fast forward to 2025, and some residents are still boiling water to brush their teeth. Outdated systems and underfunding have left people fighting for basic necessities. It's like living in a time warp. Oh, and the weather, hot, humid, and hurricane prone. One day it's sticky heat, the next it's severe storms tearing through communities. Mississippi's weather is a tough opponent and it never seems to play fair. Can a state truly thrive when its foundation, healthcare, education, and infrastructure is shaky? Mississippi's residents are resilient, but even resilience has its limits. Still, Mississippi is more than its challenges. Its people are fighters, dreamers, and doers. But to truly thrive, this state needs bold solutions and serious investment. What do you think? Can Mississippi rewrite its story? Relocating to a new state is a major life decision, and it's essential to do your homework. Louisiana, California, Alaska, West Virginia, and Mississippi are all unique in their own ways, but they face significant challenges that could impact your quality of life. From high crime rates and poor healthcare to economic struggles and harsh weather, these states might not be the best places to call home in the coming years. So, what do you think? Are these challenges deal breakers for you? Or do you see them as obstacles you can overcome? Let us know in the comments. And if you're planning a move, make sure to explore all your options carefully. After all, your happiness and well-being are worth it.